Miley Cyrus's career has been shockingly long and super varied. We've got all the backstage footage and behind-the-scenes stuff from Hannah Montana all the way to Black Mirror, baby. Yeah, we're going old school. If, like the rest of us, you can't stop singing I Can Buy Myself Flowers, thanks a lot TikTok, you're probably in the know about the relationship that turned into a viral trend. Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth met on the set of the movie adaptation of Nicholas Sparks' The Last Song, way back in 2010. And seeing how the two of them were when they first met and started getting to know each other really puts the whole relationship situation into perspective.
Kinda cool, huh?
It's incredible.
Miley was only 18 years old, and Liam was hardly any older, like only a couple of years. They were both still working on figuring themselves out, and to be thrown into the spotlight the way they were, that's intense for anybody. And there's plenty of behind-the-scenes footage out there that shows what it was like for Miley and Liam when they weren't playing their characters. Even the way Miley talks about him when she was that age and in that situation, it's pretty telling.
Working with Liam was a lot of fun because we're a lot alike, but we're also very different.
She'd talk about their similarities and differences that were uncovered as they got to know each other. Sounds kinda like a relationship, right? Well, when you're that young, it's kinda tough to know exactly the difference between romantic relationships and working relationships. Those lines got blurred. Working so closely together set the groundwork for the love that went on for years, until it ended, which we know didn't turn out so well. So to anyone who's seen The Last Song, it's more than obvious their chemistry was off the charts. Liam talked openly about growing closer with Miley during filming, and it's pretty clear that the couple-to-be knew how to have fun with each other.
We've had a lot of fun. We've become really close through the shoot, and it makes the scenes a lot easier.
They were even poking fun at each other while they had to interview each other.
I know he's really cute and all, but he has a picking his nose problem. I'll look over and his finger will be literally in his brain.
And where did all that time go? It's kinda hard to believe that they went from this to this. But a decade sure does change people. She was great at being a romantic lead, but she really could not be tamed because her role in Black Mirror, that was a whole other story.
The scenes in this, which I think are very unlike anything she's done before.
Miley's Black Mirror episode was a very far cry from The Last Song, and it was actually a very important moment in her career. Seeing her appearance in the episode was surprising to a lot of people. By that point, she was more into her music anyway. But according to writer and creator Charlie Brooker, casting Miley was a no-brainer.
She's been through a lot of the stuff that happens in this story.
They wanted a real pop star to fit their pop star character, and duh, Miley's an epic pop star.
It bloody helps if you've got someone who knows what they're doing.
And the creators weren't the only one who thought Ashley O and Miley C were very much alike. In an interview with Variety, Miley literally said the similarities between her and her character were so striking, it made her laugh out loud.
Honey, I've played that role before.
And while she may have a lot in common with the character, it was still tough for her to fully transform into Ashley. And did you know Miley actually kept the wig she wore?
I thought you may want to ask Ashley herself.
But it wasn't just her playing a part. The part changed a bit, so it was even more perfectly Miley. She actually had a shocking amount of say in making changes to the script. And Ashley O kinda changed the star's career.
She had a lot of thoughts on the script and gave us a lot of insight and observations that we then reversed into the script.
Different roles have brought her different fans, and how many people do you know were regular Hannah Montana and Black Mirror watchers?
You do sometimes lose some of those fans that came with you from the beginning.
So another role that got her a whole lot of new fans, the 2015 movie The Night Before. How many stars can you pack into a movie? Well, as many as you want, if you consider the fact that the cast for The Night Before was stacked. And we're talking Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Anthony Mackie, Lizzie Kaplan, James Franco, Nathan Fielder, Mindy Kaling. What's funny though is there wasn't really a role to be played. Miley was just doing her, and it's clear, based on the behind the scenes, she knew how to make the set fun and wasn't afraid to push boundaries in the role. Okay, but has she ever been been scared of pushing boundaries. We do not expect anything less. Miley's castmates were clearly impressed by her capabilities and loved having her on set. But like, who wouldn't?
She ended up being just so cool and down to earth and such a pro.
Not everything Miley did was a total hit though. Like, So Undercover. It was this comedy that came out back in 2012. There was no playing herself here. She fully transformed into her character and even got a taste of the collegiate life in sorority boot camp.
Going to sorority boot camp was probably one of the weirdest. I felt like Molly, for sure.
Now that sounds wild. And the wild didn't stop there that year. Miley starred as Lola in an indie film called LOL. According to Miley, her co-star is entirely to thank for getting her cast.
I just want to say thank you to Demi because she's the main reason I got involved.
And yeah, we're talking about the Demi Moore.
And without her, I wouldn't be on the set. Without her, I wouldn't be who I am sitting here.
Miley's a boss at what she does, so she managed to discover how similar she was to her character, recognizing how they were different, just really delving into every aspect of the part.
And I felt exactly what Lola's going through.
And plenty of Disney Channel stars want to distance themselves from the way the fans who followed them in their earlier days see them. So getting into adult roles can kind of be a struggle, but Miley, honestly, she just nailed it.
I hope they see all of us in a new light.
And at the time, Miley thought that doing LOL would show fans that she'd matured, but we can't ignore how big an icon Hannah Montana was for the OG fans. So we gotta talk about it. Well, most of us remember Hannah Montana, the series about a girl living a double life. What is actually pretty special to see is the behind the scenes. According to backstage footage, Miley was having a total blast on set, and it's not hard to get hit with a major wave of nostalgia watching the show being made. Maybe her new song Flowers will get out of our heads, and the best of both worlds will make a comeback. Okay, but for real, she was pulling like triple duty, acting and singing on set, and of course, going on tour. Knowing what we know about Miley, it's pretty impossible to imagine her getting nervous. But looking at the old footage, the nerves were definitely there, and we can't blame her. That's a lot of pressure.
Backstage, I get ready to do my concerts by actually not thinking about the concert because otherwise I get very, very nervous.
And the pressure almost caused her to break. Years later, Miley actually confessed that starting to tour when she was 12 left her with some vocal cord issue that lasted a really long time.
This is from overuse of the vocal cords.
But even if things were tough, it did not hold Miley Cyrus back from doing what she wanted her way. And looking at everything she's done, well, she's pretty much done all of it. What could possibly be next? A Miley Cyrus talk show, perhaps?
I haven't really had that in the past 10 years.
The star has talked about the potential of a Miley Cyrus talk show in the future, and while nothing's been totally planned, it seems like she'd be into it. And we'd definitely be into it. So what do you think about Miley's career? Where do you think she's headed next? Let's talk about it in the comments.